in the Our Father prayer. And Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So thy will of God shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread. So that eating of life, you know, and that we understand that people make mistakes. We're not perfect by actions, but we're perfect in God. So we may make mistakes in actions, and that's okay. So my underlying values uh, is the belief in God. And so because I believe in God wholeheartedly, this country had on its coin, "In God We Trust." God bless America as a song. When we're in war, we know we're doing it on behalf of God. When we're helping our brethren in other countries and having diplomacy, as one person asked before, having diplomacy to make sure people are good, we're doing it on behalf of God. When we're being benevolent and being philanthropic to other countries, we're doing it and by with God being the one that backed these actions. So because our country was built on the belief of God, I grew and was born into that. My political beliefs had went from here to that because I didn't understand politics at the time. So do I believe in the Republican way, Democrat way, independent way, whoever way, Tea Party way? I believe all of us have a good. I believe that the Republicans have a good. I believe that the Democrats, the Libertarian, the Tea Party, the Green Party, and the other 25,000 parties, it's not 25,000, but those other many parties all have something in common. They want to lead this country. They want to lead this country into greatness. And that's why I come in with the thought, instead of being on the one side of left, right, this way, left, right, out of sight on throat. And instead of me want to be any one of them kind of ways, I want to see what the good that both of them possess to bring forward. And that's why I never really chose a different side, even back when I was in youth. I never took that chance to be here or considered that, because I'm not a gang style affiliated type person. I'm either on the side of good, on the side of good, right? I'm just trying. I don't really do what, if you bringing good this way, then bring good. If you bring good that way, then bring good. And all I need to see is the good that you're bringing. And so my political beliefs are only based more in the fact of who's doing good and what good can they bring. Am I choosing any one of those sides? No, I wouldn't, because they both shows a lot of spite amongst. They're not showing love to the American people. They're not showing love. They're showing division. And who's ever keep division, a house divided shall not stand. And if they understand that, then they wouldn't show so much division amongst. I guess they love the drama. They love that drama feel that keeps the attention on them. The drama part of things keeps the attention instead of the good being shown. See, people have moved away from showing, believing the good. So the underlying values of me is God, and God is good. God is great. So God wants to show the good. And if this country is based on the beliefs of God, with all the coins, all the money, every action we're doing, we're putting God first, then our actions in our legislature, our heads should be showing that same God, that same good, that same love to one another. And see, that right there shows other people and allow other people to make the choice. But which one of them are good? And now we're not talking about the greater good, because that's not a good thing to me. when I hear a person say the greater good, it's not prosperous to me. It's not. That's like a choice. It's like the lesser of two evils, they said when we had to choose a president. Well, they the lesser of two evils. Well, what you're saying is they both are evil. The lesser of two evils is really telling me that they're both evil. So why would I vote for anyone? They both are saying you're both saying they're evil. The lesser of two evils is saying both of them are evil. So why would I vote for someone that's evil when I know this country is based on good and God and about the people? Because God is for the people. God is about the people. So my current political beliefs derive from what God gave and how to move to help your fellow man, how to become a better person, how to help the people around you, how to show people how to be better, how to do better. That is my goal. That is my political belief. And that's why I don't connect with one of them, because they don't like to show that. And not calling them out in the worst way. I'm just saying what they don't show on the TV, where they get most of the exposure. Talk about this person, talk about that person, don't talk about the truth. And if we talk about the truth, then talk about the truth and let's go and work through the truth. Okay, it's good. We're not perfect in actions. We're only perfect in God. It's in the Bible. You can find it. That's why I keep saying it. So that's what I would say. Okay. Hope I answered it. Yeah, that's a good one. And the people out there, please if you feel the need and the cause of me becoming your president, and you have reasons to understand how can you help and what can make it better and what can be done to make this presidential run a success and becoming the president of the people and not for the people, a president of the people, from the people. Let me know. Leave comments, leave your questions below. I got one more question, and okay, so because this is by Miseeka B again. Okay. How can we hold parents more accountable for their children's performance and behavior in school? How can we hold parents more accountable for their children's performance and behavior in schools? Now, see, these questions, ladies and gentlemen that's out there paying attention, are from the people. This is what the people want to know. They don't really care about what the artist talking about and who they acting like what star is talking about. They're supporting this person on behalf of their agenda. This is what the people want to know. They want to know, how can we hold the parents more accountable for their children's performance and behavior in schools? There's a lot of different places that kind of have pushed a way to try to make parents accountable by enforcing them to keep the kids in schools. And where I'm from, they had it where if the child missed a couple of days or more days in a certain amount, the parent would get a ticket, and the parent could get charged with truancy. And it kind of made some of the parents snap to it and make their kids more active in school and made sure they got there so they wouldn't get in trouble, which was like a counterproductive type situation, because what happened was the parent really didn't care what the student learned long as he went to school, so they wouldn't get in trouble. So they really just wanted the kid there. So because they might needed a babysitter, because they kind of treat the teachers as babysitters and not scholars that has went to college to learn the knowledge that they have to teach their kids. They look at them as high-paid babysitters, And so a lot of the parents use that as a way to force their kids. Oh, you need to go. I ain't going to jail for you. If you gonna go to jail, I ain't getting no ticket and all of that. Some of the parents, it didn't become real until they actually received the ticket um, for the truancy action that the child had done. So how can we hold the parents more accountable for their children performance? That's a hard question because each state, each city has their own situation. And as the president, I could give a suggestion across the board and hope each state can adjust and probably accept it and probably figure out how to make it work for them. But because we are a country the way we are, I can't just blanket hold all the parents accountable for what their children is not doing. At the same time, I would like you to understand that a lot of the parents need to be retaught of what it is to be a parent. A lot of these parents don't know what it means. We need school, we need movies that kind of give those kind of things. We got movies that talk about all kind of stuff. We got movies that do a lot of killing and every kind of other things that these movies are doing, right? But I want to sneeze, sorry. We want to we want to make sure that the the parents learn how to become parents. A lot of them get caught up in what the world is bringing them, and they just having babies along the path and still experiencing the world. So they really don't even know what it takes to be a parent. They don't understand the importance of why their children are getting free education as far as the school system is concerned. How can we make the school system better? We're gonna have to address that a little later, but that what the school system is for. Why is it there? What's the process? Why do we need our children to go through this process of learning for our country? To keep our country, all of that. Some parents have no idea about that. No excuse. I'm not giving no excuse to them. Please understand me. I'm not giving them an excuse. What I'm saying is they will need to be even taught. Some parents need to be taught what it is to be a parent. Some of them just had babies and they could baby be 40, 50 years old, they still call them they baby. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, but yeah, sometimes, right? 13, that's my baby. 15, that's my baby. Never put in that time because they didn't understand why they should be putting in that time. So we only can make the parent understand that they have a part and they need to be accountable. But we can't hold them to be accountable. They have to hold themselves to be accountable because it's their children, it's their life. And as a government, we don't want to overstep those boundaries too far in there to say this is how you got to do. That becomes dictatorship style. You better do this or else. We just need to teach. We're a country of teaching. So we need to teach them how to become more accountability. What accountable? What does that look like? How do we push forward in that situation to make them to understand why their child should perform better? How can they help the teachers perform better in the school? Why should they help their teacher to perform better? Maybe get them to come and sit in some of them schools, have it where have the cities or the states maybe come up with something to have the teachers invite the kids in. The jobs have to let the parent off. The job pay for the parent to have a day, a year, every a day each semester to come and sit inside the classroom with the teachers and see what what the teacher has to go through. They get paid for that day from the job. The job could, there's just an idea off my head, right? The job can actually pay them for that day that the state allows for this job, that the job pay them. They go get the money back from the state for paying them. That parent come into the classroom assist the teacher and the student and have that full day to be at that school. Though they're out from their job, they're at this school as a job for 8 hours. And that means they're not missing pay. They're still getting paid, but they're here now. They're at this school going through the process of what a teacher has to go through for them to appreciate what a teacher goes through to make their kid accountable, make their kid have some kind of accountability, and as well as themselves be accountable for what their children is doing at the school and what they see a teacher has to go through. I think allowing people to see those kind of things hands on gives a different appreciation. It's kind of like our officers, our police officers who have to see so many detrimental things, and people just think that the police officers are picking on them or they just grumpy, but they mentally have to go through things. I think in that same sense, that's what a parent needs to probably go through. And saying that about the police officers, let me let this be known. Our police officers, this is what you got to think. A fireman too. Oh, let me give you a scenario, and then we'll talk about the servicemen again on another moment. But right now, I'm talking about our frontliners, paramedics, our police officer, our firemen. They got to walk into a house, blood everywhere, person gunshot wounds, blood is shooting out the wound. Paramedic got to come in, kind of get the wound. Police officer got to see this, got to make sure what's going on, secure the area, ask questions, not putting in his mind that he's seeing somebody right here that's on their last lifeline, that now his life is on the line because we don't know what a gunman is. The gunman could be in the ceiling, the gunman could be in the next closet, and the gun and the police officer have to figure out what's going on. The paramedic is hoping that the police officer keep them safe because somebody might just still be in a deranged mode and come out the room and shoot the paramedic and the police officer. See? So the police officer have to see this, protect the paramedic, the person who's shot, themselves, secure this area, and still, after all this is done, go back into the police car and drive around and find you with a ticket. And make it seem like, excuse me by that, and make it seem like that what they just saw didn't happen. Now put yourself in their position. And that might happen 2 or 3 times a day, especially if you're in a place like Chirac. Now I want you to put yourself in the teacher's position. The teacher get up, they come to school. There's 20 kids in that class, minimum, up to 30, up to 35, 15 even, depending on what kind of level of mentality they have, up to 35 kids. They gotta teach. They're trying to teach what the system is set up for them to teach on these days, for this moment and this time, for the kids can all be on the same kind of learning page. And here go 3 kids over here fighting. They're trying to teach them at 2 plus 2, they fighting. 1 plus 1 equals 2 fighting, right? That's what math is going on over here. Then they got to finish that. They got to stop the class, call for help, get some people to come in and get these 2 kids that's fighting, get them out of there, calm them down. There's other kids in there arguing, talking bad, talking back. Then they got to come back in this classroom, try to get that, still go back to trying to teach what 2 plus 2 is. Then your kid come home because he had attitude because he was the one who was fighting. And then because the teacher say, you need to sit down, sit your A down. He go home and say that he cursed. The teacher cursed at me. So the parent come up there. Now the parent want to flex with the teacher, want the problems, want static, whatever words you want to say with the teacher over the kid that doesn't respond. And then all of a sudden this teacher got to come back the next day and do the same thing over and over. Your kid is just one kid in that class, unless you got twins. And you got two kids in that class. It's 30 and 20 some other kids in there that a teacher have to deal with. Think about it. So parents, think about that. So I hope my statement helped your question. No, I would not always be able to answer questions so in depth. That's why I'm giving the opportunity now. Because once I'm in the presidency, I don't have the time. I got to be thinking about all this and that and that. But I will have the time to make sure I address them the best way I can. At this moment, I get to go in depth and give you an opportunity to kind of see how I move and think. So when I'm in there, you understand already that I said, but I got to make things happen. A lot of things, a lot of people. It's thousands of people in the government, in the political offices that I have to deal with, learn about, see, move through, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, but the question still will be able to be answered in this same kind of format, but my background will be a little more legit. So you can actually know that I'm caring. And we're talking about the country of 300 million. So if a million people seeing them, definitely I won't have the time to answer a million questions. So maybe out of them, I'll be able to pull as many as I can. Definitely not a million. Yeah, I'm your president. Yeah, that's what you just said, that I'm your president. That's what you just said. Okay. We're reading down to section 4, then I'm going to end this video. The Senate shall choose their other officers and also President pro tempore in the absence of the Vice President, or when he shall exercise the office of the President of the United States. So again, that is saying that the Vice President, who has an important role when it comes to this process, and something happened as in, rest his soul, the John F. Kennedy situation, when the situation happened with him, his vice president had to take over, who really was over the Senate, and then somebody had to take the place because he had to move up to presidency. So that happens. And it has happened in our nation twice, definitely twice. Okay, the Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. When sitting for that purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of members present. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office or of honor, trust, or profit under the United States. But the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to the law. Well, we know about Nixon. Nixon got impeached. And we know they tried to impeach Clinton. And I think they tried to impeach Trump, Donald Trump, and maybe even Bush. Maybe, think Bush. But they kind of put them up on something. They tried to charge them something. I go back on that and I come back and ask. But I know they tried to impeachment for Donald Trump and Clinton. So succeeded with Nixon. That's a good way to understand how impeachments go. So now you can understand that they can get tried, and that's what it's about. And they can be punished by how the law is, depending on what their punishment is. And that when they do get impeached, it could disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States, right? So, and they don't really get all the benefits things. So that's section 3 completed. Hope y'all enjoyed it. My reading is something. We just had Article 1. We still got Article 2. We got Article 3. We got Article 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7. And then and then we got the preamble to the Bill of Rights. You all should have one of these in your home. Find love for your country that you get all these benefits from, that you really don't pay attention that you are until you happen to go to a whole nother country that does not have 1/10 of the rights that you have here. Once you see that and you learn that, you kind of see things a totally different way. I'd like to thank you all for giving that this time. Thanks for taking these moments with me. Hope I had a chance to answer your questions. Thanks, Angie, Jake, and Sherry. I got you. And Miseeka, and whoever else. Jim. He'll be sending his later. But in the meanwhile, I'd like to say thank you all for giving a moment, for inviting me to have a conversation as your president to be of the people. That's who I am. That's who I'm gonna be. Thank you again. Y'all have a nice night. If y'all see me in this unit again, it's because I'm still recording straight through. And it is what it be until I change uniforms. No, but thank you. Have a great one.